Hey people, this is Jacob here on this wonderful, beautiful Saturday to show you our 2021 Expedition King Ranch. I'm going to walk around the outside of it here, point out anything I notice on the body, and then I'm going to go over the interior as well. But looking out here, it does need another bath. You got stuff like whatever that is, that'll just wash right off. It's either blood or bird or something. This is clearly bird, and that'll come right off. Front bumper looks good. So with painted bumpers like this, something you always have to be mindful of is that they will get little rock chips and things like that. But this one actually looks very, very clean. And I understand that it's only got 15,000 miles on it, but usually, like, you'll see a couple little ones right there that might actually come off. I don't think that's actually a rock chip, but it's just something to be mindful of. It looks like it'll clean up really good here. Not really notice anything more. Actually, now I'm seeing there's a rock chip right there. That's another thing that happens, you know. But it looks really good other than that. This paint's got the, you know, the metallic flake in it, so it's real sparkly. Probably doesn't pick up well on the camera, but it's really, really pretty. Something I need to go look on the other side is the wheels. This one looks good. It just needs to be cleaned. Everything looks good over here. I don't notice anything. Actually, right here you go. Nope. I thought that was a rock chip. That is going to come off. I think that's just bird there. So it comes right off. No big deal. I think it mainly just needs a bath. This wheel looks good too. We'll go around and look at the wheels that I missed. This back corner looks really good. I think it just needs a bath. Yeah, man, it just needs a bath. Same thing up there. A little bird here. They hit our lot. It's crazy, man. They get our lot good. They see all these cars and just the perfect time to relieve themselves, I guess. See, same thing here, man. That'll come out. Yeah. So I definitely need to wash my hands after this. There's the wheel on the other side, looks good. Wheel over here on the front driver looks good. So I'm pretty happy with all that. Ooh, another thing to look at is mirrors. Got a little bit of a spider web hanging off of that one. Yeah, this one looks good. I'm gonna open the back hatch here. Things look good back here, not noticing anything out of the ordinary. I'm going to switch to a little bit wider lens. There we go. So you can see things a little better. You got a bunch of buttons over here for raising and lowering the third row passenger seats. Pretty cool stuff there. You got some buttons there to release, you know, if you're sitting in the third row. Buttons on this side to move those second row seats so you can get in and out a little easier. Well, you know what, just to show you, I should probably put those back up, or when I show you the rest of the interior. See, I was smart. I would have gotten that on the first try, you know. There we go. Of course, the hatch is power, as you'd expect on a King Ranch. It's got everything under the sun. I'm going to show you the rear here. But I really like the brown. Some people don't think brown and black go together. I think it looks excellent here. But I'm also a big fan of the more interesting interior. You know, I'm so sick of seeing cars where it's just black interior. You know, that's the vast majority of vehicles. So, but all the leather is in excellent shape. Very, very clean, like you'd expect. I'm gonna lower this second row seat here so that way we can look at the third. But it honestly doesn't look like it's even been used back there. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign. So I'm happy with that. And then up here, you got a bunch of bells and whistles, every button under the sun. Of course, windows, locks. You got your mirrors here. You adjust them right there. You select the mirror up here. It'll light up orange to let you know which mirror you got selected. And then you make the adjustments under that. Lock and unlocker up here. Your memory seats are there. So you can set the seat for different people. I'm going to hop in it here. it's got the, I'm probably going to say this wrong or maybe even make up a name, but I think it's Bauer and Wilkins, but it could be Bang and Olufsen or something. I don't know. I feel like I'm making one of those names up, but it's got a fancy upgraded speaker system. That's the main point there, okay? That's the thing to drive home. Over here, you've got your lighting controls for the interior and exterior, your fog lamps, and then this one in the middle actually controls your actual exterior lights. Underneath that, way down here, it's hard for me to even get to with the camera and my other hand, but you've got your parking brake as well as adjustable pedals. That's really, really nice if you've got varying heights in your family. So you've also got a button here that'll open and close the back hatch, as well as this button. I'm going to take a look at what that one does. I think it brings back the seats back up and down, but I'm going to have to double check that. Okay, here you've got your buttons for the digital information center over here on the left. So it'll show you, trip information, fuel economy, all kinds of different things. If you want to look at your tire pressure, that's all up here. You can see that they're all even 37 like they should be. Towing information. There's like off-road where it can show you what power is going to what wheels. You can also turn off some of your safety stuff there. It looks like pretty much everything if you wanted to. Of course, you got blind zone alert in the mirrors. You got cross traffic alert. You've got like forward automatic braking and that kind of stuff there. So lots of stuff. So you've got your cruise control here, which is my understanding this has adaptive cruise control, and that's what these buttons are for, is to set the distance at which you'll kind of start to slow down with the vehicle in front of you. So if you're not familiar with adaptive cruise control, that's what it's there for. When a vehicle's in front of you and it starts to slow down, you'll actually slow down with that vehicle. So to my understanding, that's what those buttons are for there. You've got volume up and down here, going through your different pre-saved stations there, your memorized stations. You got buttons here for answering phone calls, hanging up on phone calls, muting the stereo. I didn't press that very well. There we go. And then this button here with a little face, the side of the face, he's talking. That brings up the voice assistant on your phone if your phone's connected. Let's see, is there anything I'm missing there? I think that pretty much covers the steering wheel. Over here you got a bunch of buttons. You got buttons on top of the stereo. This is a hill descent controller. My understanding, it's for like if you're off-road or you want to go downhill very slowly. You got your traction control off there. I would generally leave traction control on, but that button will turn it off if you're off-road or you're trying to do donuts or burnouts or something. That's what that button's there for. Those are your hazards. This guy here is for your lane change alert with lane keep assist. Ford may call that a different name, but that's the Chevrolet name for it. I'm more familiar with that. So, but if you start going on the other lane and you don't have your turn signal on, it'll beep at you to let you know, like, hey man, pay attention to the road, pay attention to what you're doing, And of course, if you have your turn signal on, then it'll just let you drive because it thinks you actually want to go into that other lane there. This button turns off the auto stop start. Auto stop start is a technology where the engine will shut off sometimes at stoplights or stop signs to save fuel economy. So they say it generally saves about an extra mile per gallon having that on, but if it's something that bothers you, you can turn it off there. This button brings up your cameras. So you've got surround vision over here, which is really nice if you're in a parking lot. You also, of course, got your front and rear cameras as well. So cool feature there. That'll, show us just the front camera if I press it again. And I think if I press, so that's showing me, you got a bunch of different camera views there. So that's neat. Of course, audio, AM, FM, XM, phone, connecting your phone, navigation, brings up the built-in nav, which is always nice to have as kind of a backup. Sometimes I like using my phone for that stuff because, of course, this vehicle will have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. But sometimes having the built-in navigation is nice. I've used it many times. And then down here you've got buttons for muting the radio, so there's some redundancy there. If you want to turn off the screen, that's available too. If you want to change like the tone settings, that's all available there. It's cool to have play and pause buttons. I've seen those. We don't have those in our in our Chevys anymore. They seem to be kind of wanting to go down to just a volume button. So, and that's it. So down here you've got all your HVAC controls. You got your heated steering wheel. You got cooled seats. I'm a fat guy. I'm over 300 pounds. I'm 6'4", so I like those cooled seats. But you know, your fan speed up and down, that's pretty standard stuff. You have dual zone climate control here. Well, you actually have 3-zone climate control because you got the rear as well back here. I'll show you that in a second. But you got dual zone up front, and so you can change the temperature here. You know, I like it cool. I'm a big guy, so I usually put it to 68 at home. So that's what I would do here. I'd put it on 68. I'd set it on automatic, and I'd just let it ride, leave it alone, let it do its thing. You got a little like coin holder here. Over here you've got a outlet for charging phones or devices. You also got a wireless charger down here, which I really like, as well as a USB Type-C and Type-A outlet. Down here you got your shifter, okay? So it's you just turn it. So I put my foot on the brake, it's in park now. I turn it to reverse, turn it to neutral, turn it to drive. It's very intuitive if you've never used one before, but I'm going to put it back in park. You also have like you know, a manual shifting mode there as well. But I'm going to go back to park. So now we're parked, we're good to go. That manual shifting mode, you know, you can use the buttons here. We'll go back to that. Oop. You can use the buttons here to, you know, change your gear type of thing. So underneath that, you've got your 4-wheel drive controller. So you've got a 4 automatic and a 2 high. So generally I would drive in 2 high, but if you were off-road or the weather was bad, something like that, that would be 2 high rear-wheel drive, of course, but you could put it in 4 auto if the weather was inclement or if you were off-road for any reason. You also, I think you've got some different driving modes in here. So if I twist that knob, it'll come up here in the display and show me some different things. I'm going to change it so it's a little bit easier to see. That's maybe a little too zoomed in, but we'll go back to that. Okay, so let's see here. So I've got normal, eco, sport, a trailering mode, ooh, a mud and ruts mode. I don't even know what a rut is, but sand, grass, gravel, and snow. So you got a bunch of things there. Underneath that, looks like they got a crumb or something. Someone was eating a sandwich in here. I'm going to back up a little bit there. You've got your this button. This vehicle actually parks itself. So this is kind of a big deal. This vehicle will actually park itself. It can parallel park. It can park in a perpendicular or parallel parking spot as well. So it's pretty nifty. You can park to the left. You can park to the right. That's something that it probably best to show you in person. But what it'll do is, and maybe I can take a separate video of it because this one's kind of becoming a little long here. You're probably not even watching it anymore. But I'll take a separate video of that and show you that. But it's actually a pretty cool technology and very useful, especially if you're like me and you're not super great at parking. So cool stuff there. I'm gonna turn that off for now. There we go. I pressed the button, it came off. Then you got your parking sensors there. So pressing that will actually turn the sensors off. When it's like that and it's not lit up, that means they're on. But that's your forward and rear parking sensors. Those will let you know when you start getting close to stuff, it'll start beeping at you. But it'll also show you with these little lines like, hey, you're starting to get close, be careful. Down here, you've got some pockets in there, some storage up there too. You got kind of a shelf there. Up here, you've also got a little bit of storage, keeping maps. Do people still keep maps? I know my grandfather does. You got some cup holders back there. And here, you could probably fit, I'd say, at least 40 to 50 Twinkies in this compartment. Massive compartment. You got some clips and things there. Oh, you can put pins in there. So it even says it, pins. Telling you what to do. So very nice, large compartment. I'm going to hop in the back here and show you the HVAC controls back there too. Oh baby, there we go. And steps, I didn't even mention those are power, so they go power in, power out. So when I shut that door, now the steps will retract, so they're under the body of the vehicle. It's very, very nice feature to have. Back here, of course, you got all your HVAC controls, as well as you've got rear heated seats back here too, so you can turn those on. They got 2 different levels, and then they turn off again. But yeah, hopefully that gives you a good overview of the vehicle. It's very nice. One thing I didn't even mention is you've got a big sunroof here too. So of course, only the front panel will move forward and backward. But I'm a big fan of sunroofs. I feel kind of claustrophobic in vehicles sometimes, especially if they're smaller. Of course, you wouldn't. This is one of the larger vehicles you can buy, so you probably wouldn't have that problem. But I'm a big fan personally of sunroofs. I think they're great. That's not what I meant to do. I'm bringing the actual sunroof back. I wanted to bring back. Nope, that's forward. Sorry, I got to figure out my buttons here. I'm trying to bring back the shade. There we go. So, you got a big sunshade there, which I really like. I like the extra light. You know, I'm starting to bald, so I like the heat on my head. But it's a very, very nice vehicle. Again, this is our 2021 Ford Expedition King Ranch. Hopefully a very fitting name, fit for a king. But this is Jacob again at Sutherland Chevrolet, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Thank you so much.